All right, folks, hello. Thanks for checking in today. If this video looked interesting and you wanted to watch it, it's going to be on, and I know my scene is backlit. I'm going to try to correct it in post-production, elevate it up a little bit, just how I positioned it. It's not the easiest thing to put it on my rear stand. These bikes are actually pretty heavy and a little top heavy, and so when you're trying to position to get it on the center stand or the back stand to lift the whole rear of the bike off the ground, it's a little sketchy. Hate to have the bike fall over, but anyways, so what we're going to do today is how I do it and how I've done it for probably the last 30 years, or one way if you do it a different way of cleaning your chain. That's what we're talking about today, is cleaning the chain. This is my 2020 Ducati Monter 821. So I have always been told and worked in the industry for about 8 years, motorcycle industry, sales, was instrumental in the service department, sales, and riding for the last 43 years, riding sport bikes, dirt bikes, dual sports, everything under the sun, except big cruiser Harleys. That I didn't do. But kerosene is a one keg heater fuel. That's just what I had at my Lowe's or Home Depot. It is a good lubricant. It is oil based, if I'm telling you right, and it is a good lubricant for O-ring chains, and it is a awesome cleaner to get the grime off the O-ring chain. One thing you could do, and I don't have the access to it just right now, a spray bottle that actually can hold a little bit more caustic chemicals in it, that's not going to melt. It's hard to tell plastic is which ones are the type that can do that. But pour that in there, have that in a spray bottle, then you could put your rag and spray this on your chain. It'd be a lot better. What I'm going to be doing is just basically putting a bunch, wetting this shop rag down, and going and cleaning very extensively my chain and make it look almost brand new. Another thing that you could do, and I know it's just not as easy on a big street bike with a big chain, is to take the chain off the bike. I don't have a chain remover of this caliber, and it's just probably something I don't want to do with this chain, risking taking it apart, and you have to get a new little E-clip or the clip that goes on there, and it's just something that I don't personally want to do, so I just clean it on the bike. But you could soak it in a pan, a plastic pan that can hold this stuff, like an oil change tray, and you could put your chain in there and agitate it and rub it with a brush. I do that with my Sur-On, my e-bike chain, probably every couple of months, and it's amazing on that chain. It makes it look brand new, lubricates it and cleans it. So this is very, very good stuff. And then also too, I will spray it with, after I'm done and it dries, I just have always been, in the motorcycle industry and had access to a discount for PJ1 or all the different specific chain lubricants, and there's videos on it that say, hey, these aren't the greatest, but they are, this is the one that dries and leaves a film, and it's not as messy as the black label one. This is the blue label one. This says it's for O-ring chain specifically, and that's to lubricate all the O-rings on the links. That's one thing you want to do, is lubricate your O-ring portion so your chain spins better, more efficiently, and just keeping it clean and trying to keep dirt off it makes it last longer. And it helps with chain stretch. That's what the instructions have said, and you could probably count on that. PJ1, all the popular motocross stores, motorcycle dealerships carry 3 or 4 different brands. And I just happen to use PJ1. It's been around since I was 9 years old, 10 years old. PJ1, used it on my XR80 and my CR60 and my CR80, my CR125, my CR250, KX80, all the way up to my 450F and 250F, and dual sport bikes, and now my sport bikes, a variety, 6 different sport bikes that I've owned, and now this Monter 821. So let me just get started here. Just have your bike in neutral so that it will turn, and just spin it around and clean your chain. Get it on there nice and good, and it turns the rag black. It's been a little while since I've done this. Like I said, to lubricate your chain, it'd be best to have it in a pan, a plastic oil change pan, or I don't know what they call the things you get from the little auto store, and they cost like $3.99. Very economical, and they work really well. I have like 3 of them. I just didn't bring it over here for the video. But, you know, to take your chain off and put it in there and let it soak for 30 minutes and agitate it, shake it around, or have a brush, that'll really get into the O-rings. But I'm trying to put it on here a little heavier so it's more soaked, and grab the chain and squeeze it into the chain. This is also a good fluid to clean off if you've got a lot of spatter from your different real sticky lubrication that you put on your chain and it gets on your wheel. On a clean rag, this stuff will knock that stuff out on your motorcycle or your car. If you get tar or oil residue or anything sticky on your car exterior body where your tires are, or the back wheel. Also too, it's a good way to clean your sprocket, because your sprocket gets gummed up on the edges with all that black nasty stuff build up from your chain. This on a rag cleans that off just awesome. I'm not going to necessarily do that right now. Well, I could, but I'm not going to do it for you on video because it'll just take a long time. But you can also go around and clean up on your swing arm chain sliders and anywhere you have a bunch of residue from your chain. Even clean up right here if you want to. I already kind of cleaned, but this rag is very, very dirty. So anything you rub this on, you're going to transfer some of that grime to. So it may not be best if you have a clean bike to use a dirty rag with kerosene on it. Or don't use this on plastics or anything but really kind of metal like your chain or the wheels or something a little bit more substantial. I don't know. You just have to check if it's, I don't want it to damage your plastic. Definitely not your painted plastic or painted metal or painted side panels that are metal, plastic. All right, that's this portion. I'm probably gonna, like I said, clean the sprocket, just clean up around the teeth where it has that built up residue. All right, as you can see, my rag has turned from pink color to a dark gray. It just gets really, really dirty. So we got clean chain and we got a clean sprocket. Looks great. You have to trust me on that. It's gonna be hard to show up on video how I have the video going. All right, the kerosene alone is a lubricant, but since I wasn't able to kind of spray it on and let it soak, I don't rely on that being all that useful as a lubricant. Like I said, you probably want to soak that in the kerosene and let it get all around in the chain. But with me just rubbing it on there and basically using it as a cleaner, I would recommend always putting on a dedicated chain lubricant. And I have a little plastic, I don't know what they call this board that realtor signs. Usually they print their stuff on this and it can handle the weather and moisture, but I have a piece that's cut down and I'll put this on the back of the chain so when I spray it, it doesn't get all over my bike. So shake this up really good, and you can also, it's recommended to heat this up, not overheat it and have it explode, But if you don't have a really warm chain, you didn't go out and ride your bike 30 minutes, come back in and spray this on immediately. The warmth either in your can or on your chain helps that to seep in and get into all the little areas of your chain. So you can actually, if you have a cold chain, you can put this in a little pot on your stove with it set on very, very low in about that much water. Set your can in there, your lubricating can, and warm that up to where it's warm to the touch. Don't heat this up where it explodes and becomes a bomb. Understand? I mean, I don't know how else to say that. Rotate your chain around. I mean, you could go around a couple times and spray it on your chain, but I usually do it once and do a real good coating the first time. So you want to mark your chain somewhere to find out when you go around, so you know that you've lubricated your whole chain. Usually the little chain link is a good indication of that. I have one here that's a little bit different than the other links. Put this up here. There you go. I finished with it. Let your chain dry for a couple of hours before you go riding it. If you go ride it right now after you put this lubrication on, it's going to fly up all over your bike. Let it dry. Let the carrier, the fluid that's in here with the lube, let that evaporate and leave what is back to protect your chain that's not fluid, and you will have a cleaner motorcycle around your chain. Thanks for watching. Tune in to more videos on my Ducati Monster 821. Have a great night, great day. Bye-bye.